finished, like how they fought. To come through at the end there with the field goal, I think was great for our football team. Those guys, I'm really proud of how they've performed throughout off-season program, through training camp. I feel like that field goal put a cap on that, really all that hard work. So I'm really pleased with that. We weren't perfect, like we're never going to be perfect, but I was really pleased with how the effort throughout the day. And then we'll set our sights on, obviously, next week. Have a good week before we take a little break and start week one. But really pleased with how we finished.
Kevin, it was obviously a bit of a rough second half for Shedeur and the entire Browns offense. But why didn't you keep him in for the 2-minute drill? Why did you decide to put Tyler in?
Yeah, obviously we didn't play great as an offense in the second half. That's never on one person. So we can be we can be better in a bunch of areas. And just felt like we wanted to give Snoop a last drive.
Did Shedeur have something wrong with him after the game?
No. Yeah, he's good.
He walked up to you after taking his walk down to the pylon, and then he walked back up to you on the sidelines before Snoop went in, and he said something to you. You shook your head. I mean, was he trying to get back in?
He's a competitive kid. The plan was to go with Snoop there, so but I wouldn't make any more of it than that.
Kevin, how would you analyze the way Dylan Gabriel played?
Yeah, again, it's you talk about the quarterback position. It's really about all 10 around that player and how he's playing. So I thought he made some good decisions, made some good throws. I know there's plays that he wants back, but as a group, we have plenty to clean up.
There was another PA team miss. Do you think you have a difficult decision at kicker?
Yeah, all those type of decisions, Tony, we'll talk about.
Dylan, with that 2-minute drive, Kevin, I know you talk about situations, but what most impressed you about him during that drive?
Yeah, again, just us getting it's an 11-man operation there. Guys getting open, getting the ball out on time. I think did a nice job in a couple different concepts, worked the middle of the field. But, I was pleased with how that group finished the half.
Would you say he played better than he did last week, though, Kevin?
Honestly, Jeff, I don't remember last week.
Kevin, is there a long-term concern about Ethan's knee?
Not a lot. Well, we don't have testing, so it's hard to say. I'd say let's get the testing and we'll see.
When Shedeur, it seemed like he reverted to some of the drifting or to the retreating. Is that because maybe he's in there with third and fourth teamers and it's just not going the way he would want it to, or did he revert?
I think with all of our players, Mary Kay, there's things that we can do better, and there's some good moments out there, but that's what our job as coaches, to develop our guys.
Yeah, Dylan had that 2-minute drive, and Huntley obviously had the drive to, win the game for y'all, get the game-winning field goal, rather. Kind of what do you think that says about, the place that y'all have in place for, these 2-minute drills, and then, of course, how y'all hammer that down and the significance of it?
I think in the course of a 60-minute game, there's just so many situations that come up, and it's our job as coaches to prepare our guys for those moments and make sure that there's a shared situational awareness among our football team. And I thought the entire preseason we got an opportunity at a bunch of different situations.
With Dylan, it seemed like he just seems a lot more comfortable in those 2-minute drills, just almost like he can play freer. Is that an accurate assessment?
I don't know. Good question. I'm not sure how he would feel answering that, Chris. I think he just, that entire group operated really well.
Looked like you got good pressure from the young guys, right? McGuire, Huntington, Thomas.
Huntington, Aiden played fullback for us in the first play of the game. He played special teams, was disruptive on defense. He's on our football team. AB said I could share that with you guys, so he made the football team. But I'm pleased with that entire defense and just how they were relentless to get that quarterback.
Kevin, a lot to sort out, I don't think, at the wide receiver position, obviously, but Gage has been just awesome this entire preseason. I'm sure you guys felt that way too. Just what can you say about him from camp to now and what he's kind of brought you guys?
Yeah, a lot to sort out, but really pleased with Gage and all of those young guys in that room and really in all those rooms. All of them did what we asked them to do. Constantly were in the building getting better. He's an example of a young man that knows what to do, can line up everywhere, and performed both in practice and in the games.
It looked like Shedeur may have been headed towards the X-ray room after the game. Maybe I have that wrong, but he was headed that way. No?
No. Yeah.
You have any injury update? Peter Strong, concussion?
Concussion protocol, Cade, concussion protocol, yeah.
And do you know how bad Blake's knee is?
Not after testing, we'll know.
I just saw Ethan walk out with a kind of a big brace on his knee. But again, are you still going through further tests?
Yeah, I'll have an MRI. Yeah.
Kevin, you've been through the whole preseason, 2 weeks away from Cincinnati. Just where do you feel the team is, with 2 weeks left before?
We're not there yet. We got plenty of work. I think next week's a big week for us. We'll be working Monday through Thursday before we take that break. So we have a lot to clean up as a football team, offense, defense, special teams, and that's our job as coaches to identify some of those things and get them worked out. But I'm really, really pleased with the effort. I know can be a small thing, but I'm really pleased with the effort.
How about that first team? We talked about that. Like Joe, that was his first. A lot of those guys are first time, and then Harold capping it off with his first TD.
Yeah, good to get down there, good to execute in those moments, but pleased with how those guys operated.
Would you say one of your bigger decisions this week is who will back up Joe in that Bengals game?
I'm just not there yet. Mary Kay, I think we got to get through the next couple days.
Harold specifically, for him, just how big that cap is, kind of cap his preseason. What have you seen how he has just sort of developed and grown as a rookie?
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He's a young player, just turning 21, but we've really challenged him a lot, Chris, in just the different places we've put him, and he's accepted that challenge. He's a very, very competitive kid. He plays hard, so we're excited about him.
Good.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
So, Joe, how would you sum up your sort of first live action with the first team this season?
Yeah, listen, it was good to get out there. I think there's a lot of different, when you've been in the league so long, we all know as players, you're getting ready to play that last preseason game, and ultimately, I think it was good to get out there and kind of get your feet wet a little bit, get some rustiness off, get your mind, preparing for a game, going through pregame, all that stuff. I think there's a lot of value in it.
How about Ethan Kosick walk out with a knee brace? I know how valuable he is to you and to this team. Just how much of a concern is that to see him with a brace?
Yeah, I think anytime you see guys, walking around less than 100%, you're concerned for your main guys. So we'll see how he feels and what's actually happening with him. But he's a big piece of what we have.
Great political answer. Seems like you really got into a rhythm. I mean, for that first start to kind of go out there and be was it?
Yeah, it's important. Anytime you take the field, man, you want to go out there and perform well. And we didn't do anything crazy today, but I felt good. We completed the ball, did what we had to do at times.
Yeah,
just didn't try to do anything crazy. Got the ball in a few guys' hands just to get get them feeling the football too. And so ultimately it was a good day.
Joe, if you don't mind addressing or talking a little bit about the fact that, Shador struggled, maybe did some things that he had done in college in terms of just retreating. Do you recall how difficult it probably was back as a rookie to get thrown into the action at all?
Yeah, dude, I remember. Yeah, big time. I can remember just like yesterday. I mean, that's part of being a rookie. You're going to get thrown into situations that maybe you don't think are ideal. I got thrown into a game against New England with 2 minutes left. I fumbled on the 1 yard line. They scored 2 plays later, and that was John Harbaugh's first preseason game, and he was not happy. I mean, I wasn't happy either, but it's part of the game. It's part of what makes a football player is learning how to deal with those situations and learn from them. So yeah, listen, we've all been there. It's part of the game.
Part of it. Great answer. Harold, how special was it to, for him, see him get that first, I know it's only the preseason, but that first catch, that first touchdown, just how is he sort of,
It was cool. As we broke the huddle, Dave and Harold were both in, and I was kind of waiting to see who's going to which spot here. but it was great. I think he's going to be a hell of a player and important piece for us. And it's good to see him kind of breaking out of his shell a little bit and becoming part of this team. And to get him a touch there was great.
How do you feel about this offense now that you look out there? You see Isaiah Bond, you've got speed, you've got Dave, Harold, and Jerry. And how do you feel about this offense?
I feel good about these guys, man. They're some talented players, and I think you all know we're pretty talented up front. So, if we can get everybody rolling and feeling good about it, then I think we should be pretty confident heading into week 1.
Joe, what is important for you over these next 2 weeks before Cincinnati? Just kind of take it one day at a time, just like always. Maybe you talk about Isaiah, like he's obviously just gotten in here, maybe get a little bit of feel for him over the next week, before we really get into like the actual game planning part of it for Cincinnati. But yeah, just kind of keeping fresh over the next week and then just getting your mind right that one last time to kind of go do this thing for the long haul.
How big are this next week or so, because you're able to, you're the starter, and can things sort of accelerate that ramp up process because of things sort of falling into place on the depth chart?
Yeah, I mean, obviously at this point in the year, you want to be able to go out there and get reps and prepare to be the guy. So I mean, yeah, that'll be a little bit different than training camp, I guess, a little bit. But honestly, like the last few weeks, I feel like have been pretty good. Been able to kind of get my feet underneath me and start to kind of get in a little bit of a groove. And the next 2 weeks are just about carrying that forward, not doing anything to kind of take a step backwards, just continuing to take that next step for all of us.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.